You are currently watching sexiest atheist man on the face of God's, scratch that, the face of nothingness planet. I couldn't think of anything else to say, so fuck it. Alright. Now, I want to give a review on one of the coolest movies that I've seen this year. Now, I've been to the movies. The Sexiest Man Alive has been to the movies plenty of times. But this time, I went to the movies last night. Went to go out to Buffalo's. Went to go eat. Enjoyed, seeing some old friends up there. Then I went to go see Trainwreck. And let me tell you something. If you people have not seen Trainwreck with Amy Schumer and Bill Hayden, I'm letting you know right now, you are missing out. Based on when I first saw this, the previews, I thought that this was going to be a stupid movie, and I thought it was going to be some dumbass chick flick movie. And the Sexiest Man Alive in the universe is not. I mean, I'm okay with chick flicks, but I have to really be in the mood for it. I really have to be. The Sexiest Man Alive has to be in the mood for Trainwreck. Movies like that. But let me tell you something. Amy Schumer, or whatever, however you say her last name, she's been taking a lot of heat from critics saying she was too fat, she was ugly, her face was distorted. They gave the wrong girl the wrong part for the movie. But let me tell you something. Surprisingly, as much as I was surprised, she was actually really funny. She kept me entertained. She kept me laughing at the edge of my seat the entire movie. She was the best actress you could have given this role to. Straight up, hands down. Alright, so this movie had LeBron James in it. You had Amari Stoudemire. You had Marv Alberts. You had the guy from the Cable Guy. What was his name? Matthew Broderick. It was an awesome movie. You guys have to go see this. It's a must-see, but let's go ahead and review it, okay? Now, if you guys don't like spoilers, I suggest you don't. You're probably going to have to turn off this video right now. The Sexiest Man Alive. He wants you to watch this video. So anyways, so I went to the movies last night, and I went to go see Trainwreck because everybody was telling me, Trainwreck was a good movie, and I was bored and wanted to get out the house. I was like, fuck it, let's go see it. My buddy John went to go see Pixels. He said that movie was trash. By the way, do not see Pixels. And don't see The Gallows. I'll be doing a review on that tomorrow, but The Gallows was trash as well. Don't go see that movie. But anyways, Amy Schumer plays as a character from, if you watch the previews, from where her father's telling her, don't believe in, that relationships will last and stuff. Basically, the reason why he's giving her that speech at the beginning of the movie is because he was cheating on her mother, and he was seeing somebody else on the side. So he ended up, saying, look, we're going to get a divorce. So he's telling Amy and her sister, look, I'm going to be going, me and your mother getting a divorce. So basically, he fits the role of a stereotypical guy who cheats on his wife or whatever, which basically the majority of the guys do that kind of shit, I'm going to be honest with you. But anyways, as she gets older, she turns 23. She's probably about 24, 25 in the movie, because she was 2 or 3 years old when he was talking to her. She must have been about maybe 4 or 5, and then 23 years later. So she's got to be almost 30, or at least around between 20, I'm going to say between 26 and 29. Somewhere in that age. But she has a job at this, she's like an editor. And basically they gave her this story to cover where she's going to be covering this guy who's in sports medicine by the name of Bill Hayden. That's his actor name, but his real name is Aaron Connors. And he is in sports medicine, and he does surgeries on players to help them get back in shape, to help them, get in the league, because this guy majored in sports medicine. So he was a kinesiology major. And she was supposed to cover a story on him, and she was supposed to make it interesting, make it sex appeal, make it intriguing. But before I get to that part, she basically goes through the beginning of the movie going from guy to guy to guy. She was, she's a very, very sexual person, let's just put it like that. So she's going out, she's having sex with all these guys. I guess you can call it equivalent to a man having a one-night stand. That's basically like the female version. She's having a one-night stand with these guys. She has this pet peeve where, they can't stay over or nothing like that because she doesn't want to draw them in close to her. So she wants to push them away, and she says, hey, you know, after she has sex with him, it's almost like the Black Widow spider effect, where the Black Widow spider is killing off its prey after it had sex with the male, and the male gets her pregnant. She actually kills the male spider. Well, in this case, she tells the guys that they have to leave. They're not allowed to stay the night over. Any guys she sleeps with, they're not allowed to stay the night over. So anyways, she's actually seeing somebody in the movie by the name of John Cena, the actor John Cena, or the wrestler from WWE. She's seeing John Cena. And they went out to the movies, and, you know, they're watching like a little chick flick movie, and John Cena kind of plays the role of this guy who acts a little feminine, but yet he's playing the part of, like, trying to be the straight masculine male with muscles, but he has, like, the softer side, almost kind of like gay-like tendencies, but he's still a straight male. So he has the sex scene where he's in bed with her, and he said, you know, I'm not really good at talking like this. She's like, and he tries to talk dirty to her in bed by saying, you know, I saw you at the gym. I saw you from behind. I wanted to touch you and stuff. And she was completely turned off by it. But John Cena actually nutted in her, and he was like, you know, he nutted in her. Now, a lot of people are bashing John Cena for this role in this movie, but actually I thought he did a really good job. He actually kept me entertained. John Cena did a really good part in this movie for the little time he was in there. But basically, that was her boyfriend in the movie. So she's seeing him, and she says she really likes him, supposedly, or allegedly likes him, but all these guys are calling her and stuff like that. So they go to the movies, and he ends up getting in a fight. John Cena gets in an argument with this black guy who calls him Mark Wahlberg, and he said, how are you going to call me Mark Wahlberg? I weigh 150 pounds. I look like, Mark Wahlberg weighs 150. I look like Mark Wahlberg ate Mark Wahlberg. And there's a lot more. They're getting into it. They're going back and forth. John Cena said, if you want to fight me, I'll be outside, you know, the theater. So John Cena was going to leave. I think he tries to go to cool off. Then he comes back. Amy goes, the actress goes. She leaves outside. She leaves her phone inside. Well, her phone kept going off. So John Cena went to turn the phone off, but it doesn't show what happens next. But basically on the way home, he looks real sad, and they start talking, and she asks him, you know, what's going on? He's like, you know, your phone kept going off. I didn't want to go through it, but I noticed that people are sending pictures of their cock to you. Are you still seeing guys on the side? And she said yes. And he said, you know, I wanted to marry you. I wanted to have 4 or 5 kids with you and, you know, move into a house and stuff. I wanted to do that with you. And she said, you know, can you not tell me at this time because I'm drunk? Because, see, she's an alcoholic in this movie. You're going to be seeing, if you go to see the movie, she's going to be drinking a lot in the movie, so she's an alcoholic. I think she drinks a lot of her pain away. She sees that through alcohol to take away a lot of the inner turmoil she has going on inside of her. But John Cena says, you know, I can no longer see you anymore. And so she gets angry, upset. They start fighting. He says, you know what, fuck you. And he walks away. So that ended their relationship. So basically she covers this editorial story on Aaron Connors as the actor. Bill Hayden is playing the role. And he actually is a really nice, soft-spoken, you know, very outgoing. He's a doctor. He makes really good amount of money. He has his own place. And, I mean, this guy has money. He has dividends, you know. And he asked her, you know, do you want to – basically they end up going out, and they have a couple drinks. And then next thing you know, they end up going back to his house, and she ends up sleeping with him. Well, she was supposed to leave, but he tells her, no, I want you to stay. And she says, well, can you put this pillow in front of us as a barrier? So they put a pillow in front as a barrier. And basically what happened was breaking a rule with them, which is something she never does because she's not supposed to stay the night with any guy. Rather, they're at her house or she's at their house. So anyways, she tells her girlfriend the next day, like, look, you know, I stayed the night at this guy's house, and I don't know what's going on, you know. What am I supposed to be feeling this way about somebody? And I think this is like when she finally started turning around and actually started like liking somebody for once. But then she introduces him to her family. Her father's kind of a little weird. He's inside of like a nursing home, and he's lost it all in the head. He's got Alzheimer's, but he likes sports. So him and the doctor got along really well. Mr. Connors even stitched his eyebrow up because it like split open because he fell off his wheelchair. And the father and him actually got along pretty well. And believe it or not, she ends up really liking this guy, and he ends up really liking her. But they end up having a fallout. They end up fighting because he's coming home and she's still drinking and smoking pot. And he said, look, I don't want you to drink or smoke pot anymore. you know, I want to take this to the next level with you. I want like actual relationship and stuff. And this is the part where she said, well, okay, this is the part we're supposed to be fighting, and then you're supposed to be gone. And he's like, look, I just want a couple days to myself, and then we'll get back together. She's like, no, this is the breakup. So they end up breaking up. He's devastated by the breakup. I mean, he's having a hard time sleeping. He's having a hard time functioning at his job. He's supposed to perform some type of arthroscopic knee surgery on Amari Stoudemire. And Amari Stoudemire's like, look, man, if you're not focused on this surgery, I'll take a rain check. And he's like, no, we can do this. But he kept bringing up Amy Schulinger's actress name, or the name for the movie, and said, I really miss her. She did me wrong, this, and that. And he said, look, man, I want a doctor who's more emotionally into this surgery, because this is my career here. So he gets up and ends up leaving. And that's kind of the reason why he ended up, I guess, breaking up with Amy Schulinger, if that makes sense. Or that's what led to that point. But anyways, he was given a speech, and Amy walks out or whatever of that speech. He won some kind of Oscar award that Tony Romo presented to him. Tony Romo was also in the movie as well. And she got a call from her boss. Her boss threatened to fire her. But she said, look, I'm dropping you out of this story. This guy is boring. You're not covering the story of this guy because he is boring. And there's nothing intriguing about this, and people aren't going to want an editorial magazine of some doctor who has a boring lifestyle. So as they were fighting, and I hate to go back and forth with the story, but as they're fighting, she says, the reason why I took that call is because my boss threatened to fire me, and if I didn't answer the call right there and then, he said, well, you're supposed to have your phone on silent. And she said, well, excuse me, And then so they started fighting some more, and ultimately, like, they did break up, but later on in the movie, they ended up, of course, getting back together, which that is the predictable part. They ended up getting back together, and Amy is a girl who is used to having just one-night stands with many of the guys she brings home or goes to their house, and she's not used to falling in love because she does not think of herself as somebody that could ever have something like that. She has a sister who has an awesome boy, like an awesome husband. He's not the best-looking guy, I'm not going to admit. He's kind of like the dad with the little pudge, and he's not really like a good-looking like surfer type or bodybuilding type of guy or anything like that. But he had a kid from another woman, and she accepted him for that, and they ended up falling in love, and he ended up getting Amy's sister pregnant. And so, anyways, to make a long story shorter, I think Amy was a little jealous of her sister because she saw what her sister had. Her sister had like this wonderful marriage, and that they were going to have another kid. And saw how they were happy, had their own place. They were, successful. He was a successful businessman. And I think she wanted that for herself. And ultimately, hey, I'm doing a review. And ultimately, to be honest with you, I recommend you guys to go see this movie. If you don't go see Trainwreck, go see it. It's a good movie. Like I said, LeBron James, I haven't even gotten started on LeBron James. LeBron James, good actor. He's very funny in the movie. They played a one-on-one basketball game with Mr. Aaron Connors, and him and Aaron Connors were playing one-on-one, and LeBron was like blocking his shots and dunking on him, and they kind of had a little funny scene in there. But you guys have to go see this movie if you have not seen it yet. Trainwreck, I'm going to be honest with you, 1 to 10, I give this movie a 10. In fact, I would go see it again. I would definitely go see this movie again. So if you guys haven't seen a movie, please go see it. I don't want to like keep telling you every little thing that happens in the movie, but Amy Schulinger, a girl who is an average-looking girl, a little overweight, got slammed by critics for this role in this movie. Before the movie came out, they said, why did you give this fat, ugly girl a role when you should have gave it to a prettier girl who was thinner? Well, let me tell you something. Amy Schulinger was the best actress you could have given this award to. She had me laughing the entire movie. If you don't go see this movie, you are missing out. Go see this movie if you want to laugh, if you want to have something entertaining. All around, go see this movie. All right? So, it's the sexiest man alive in the universe. I'm signing out. I want you guys to go see this movie if you want to get a good laugh. If you want to laugh the whole movie, you want to enjoy yourself, take your girlfriend, take your wife, take your boyfriend, whatever, go see this movie. All right? 10 out of 10 stars. Go see it.